mine. Design thinking to me is the productive combination of analytical thinking so that you produce some level of reliability with intuitive thinking, the abductive logic and the inference to best explanation, the invention of the future, the exploration of the future, so that you can get the best of both. You can get enough reliability for a corporation or a big organization to say, yeah, we can do this, but with enough validity, enough exploration of the future that will enable you to move knowledge forward. Now, the problem, right, at least from my perspective, is that the people who are analytically thinking driven tend to not particularly like the people who are intuitive thinking oriented, and vice versa, right? Which is why, so back to the questions, why is it that even when corporations bring in kind of designerly people, things don't happen? They don't move things ahead. I think it's because the designerly oriented people are doing validity-oriented, intuitive-oriented, exploration-oriented thinking that makes the business people very nervous. And it doesn't obey the laws that they use to rule their own lives, right? Which is analytic. Prove it. They say prove it. Now, if you ask Charles Saunders Peirce whether you can prove anything in anything new in advance, he would say you can't. So the minute a corporation says, prove this new idea, that means you're done, right? You're done. You cannot. You absolutely cannot prove a new idea in advance. And so when these two forces come together, they tend to kind of reject one another. Now, I think, and I think that's the great challenge for a company to maintain itself over time, right? If we want a company to have the competitive advantage I've described, right? Advance things through the knowledge funnel faster than your competitors, earn the financial rewards from that so that you can then solve the next mystery and the next mystery and the next mystery. You need both. This corporation you're working at doesn't really believe in design very much, and they make you make them really nervous. So now go and do it anyway. So many designers I talk to say, "Oh no, I can't do that. I mean, they're just unfriendly to design, and that, that's impossible. I'll do something else." And I say to myself, "But that seems like the same kind of design challenge as like the camera, right? Why is that not a legitimate challenge?" So I'd say to designers, treat design unfriendliness as what? A design challenge. It's as good a design challenge as any you're going to find, right? Now you'd say, I'm being unfair to designers. What about those? I'm letting the managers off the hook. No, I'm not, right? Managers, right, like difficult management challenges. How can we get this product out in time, and how can we organize all of this? Everything's a management challenge to them, except when a designer shows up and starts talking kind of validity, exploration, abductive logic oriented, and then they just say, I can't deal with these people. They're weird. No, treat that as a management challenge. It's a legitimate management challenge. If you're a good manager, you figure out how to make that work. Actually, if we take the best of reliability-oriented thinking and validity-oriented thinking, we can create companies with massive sustained advantage. It's not impossible, but it's just a little bit harder than people think, because both sides do not realize how fundamentally they're not ever have that you have to have a company that's focusing on both, or you'll have yet another whole slew of one-generation companies. Like, will Microsoft, right? Will Microsoft be around for more than one generation? It's a really big question.
Is it? It's not a question in my mind.
Yes, well, that's that.
Or Google?
Yeah. I mean, it's a test. You have to kind of rethink what you're doing in a fundamental way, what you're doing, the way you're doing it, why you're doing it, and people would generally prefer to just keep doing what they're doing.